يعني رجائي ان على اساس الواحد يتحاشى لا يكون التركيز او يحاول الواحد يتحاشى الفترات اللي الكل بيجي فيها. The idea here, an important issue was raised here. How long does it take for somebody who is coming to vote to process his papers and vote? We discussed this. A figure of 4 minutes was raised and then it was turned down because the whole idea is you cannot judge how long it will take him from coming into the building until he leaves the building, because that all depends on the queue. And what we have noticed in previous elections is that everybody tries to come in at around 11 o'clock before Dhuhr prayer and after the sunset prayers. So there is a big rush, which means big delay for those who come in during the rush hour. Come in before, come in later, that will be fine. But don't all come in at the same time. Okay.
Just to add and clarify that each voter needs to know if he has the documents ready, which is the BCCI membership card with ID, that will smoothen the processing much faster. There will be no checking, okay? And the passport, okay? Or the passport. The second thing is each BCCI membership is one process. So if he has 5 membership, let him keep the 5 membership ready, and they will process it at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you. My question is about the voting document. How does it look? I mean, it will come with all names, or names and photos, or codes, numbers. We just need to know. And what is required? Just a tick, or we should the voter should repeat the name, write it down. Thank you.
حبيبنا هو مازن الشهابي.
If you have a question, I'll bring the paper.
Bring the paper.
He will bring the paper to show you now.
Good afternoon. First of all, once again, thank you for arranging this meeting in English only. Though I would request, for that now talking of the 4 years later, I mean, if you could try to have this kind of meeting before the deadline, like last deadline is expired on 28, I believe. So if I wish this meeting could have taken place, but anyhow, something for future, thought for future. Now, one thing I'm a little confused about the total universe. Now, you say that 6,116, members have registered, they are eligible, and the total votes are 17,228. Now, my question for academic interest or otherwise also, I mean, 6,116 to me looks very small compared to the not only total CRs but total members. If you can.
Basically, although this is outside our scope, but basically not all the carriers of CRs, the active CRs, are members of the chamber. Now, there is talk and there is a law which could be implemented pretty soon that will say that all CRs have to be members of the Chamber of Commerce. But this has not been the case for this election. This has not been the case. So there is a difference between the total number of CRs and the total numbers of members.
No, my question was also that we have the much more larger registered members, though they are not qualifying for whatever reason. But that is also a big number, isn't it?
Either they have not renewed, for example.
Well, what is the, no, my question is, what is the universe? If you happen to know, like we have 30,000, 20,000, I don't know.
For me, I don't know, because I'm interested in the list which is qualified to vote.
I was just trying to see.
This will be with the
If at all,
total number
several official can comment. Really, takriban, yeah, not just for my.
It's more than double, as a matter of fact. But let's see, some of them are, maybe half of them are like inactive. Let's see, inactive members. Inactive, it means they haven't renewed their membership. So, all of their court, I mean, one there. Well, yeah, the difference is, you know, the effect of the new law. Now it's compulsory for most of the sectors. There are exceptions, of course, like banks and others. But those people are supposed to join us now because it's mandatory.
And you will see that, of course, you will see more difference by the next election after 4 years, because now the law is very clear. Everybody has CR, he should be member of Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
The next question is about the, I believe as per the new laws, there are 20,000 dinar capital, 2 votes, and the maximum is 10 votes. So the question is, of course, this is very clear, but the question is that if I have a CR, let's say, which is 100,000 capital, maybe I have 4 votes, whatever number. So will we be getting 4 ballot cards per, let's say,
you will get one sheet with the number 4 on it. It will be for voting as a block. You vote utilizing these 4 in one sheet.
Okay, so that sheet will mention 4. Or somebody will have 3 or 4 or 10 or whatever.
The only difference is when we talk about, for example, 8, 9, and 10, because they are very small number, and to maintain the confidentiality of these companies, which are very, very limited in number. For example, you have only one company which is eligible to vote, which is 10. So everybody knows that company. You cannot have one sheet of 10 and everybody knows who did they vote for. That beats the confidentiality. So for these 3 categories, 8 is 4 plus 4, 9 will be 5 plus 4, 10 will be 5 plus 5.
That is a smart move. Good one. Thank you.
I'll just briefly explain how the ballot paper would be. This is the last election ballot paper. You have on one side the instruction, okay, what to do, what not to do. I can show it to you, okay. And on the other side, it has the names of the candidates. The names this year will be in Thulathi, okay? So whatever name will be
3 words.
three
names.
Name, middle name, family name, okay? In Arabic and English. Next to it, it will be in alphabetical order. Arabic alphabetical order.
First name?
Yes.
First name.
Okay. And number. Okay, so we have, for example, in the last election, we had 38 candidates. We had from number 1 to number 38, okay, with the name in Arabic and below in English. This year, we expect the number to go more than 2 columns, so it will be in 3 columns. So this is how it's going to be. Alphabetical, in Arabic alphabet, okay, name, middle, and family name. And the second difference, it will be that you will have different papers depending on the number of votes you're eligible to for that CR. Okay, so there will be a paper written 2, another paper written 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 per CR. So if you have 5 CRs, we will look at each CR separately. We will not take the sum and give you, okay, for that.
But take on this particular paper or on a separate one?
No, the same paper. Yes.
I might have 1, 2, 3 more, depends on how many votes I get.
Depending on how many CRs.
So each CR will be given 1.
One, except the 8, 9, and 10.
Okay. Will we, as a candidate, be able to know the sequence of the candidates before?
On the 10th, after the door is closed, okay, the names will be published. Okay, so we will.
Sequence number.
Yes.
We could do that. The same sequence number. Okay, we can use it here. There's no issues. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also how to vote.
You fill in the round circle. You fill it completely. Yeah.
No
It's not there. You fill it.
Fill in the
Here. And then it will be mentioned on the second, and it will be mentioned in the cabin. In each cabin, we will have this in large, the instruction, okay? And those who cannot read or write, okay, we'll give them special assistance. Thank you.
بس نقطة العربي الماركينج بيكون بقلم خاص ويوفل يترس دائرة مو يسوي تك يظلل دائرة مو انه يسوي تك. كريم.
لو تم يعني احنا عرفنا من التصريح من حضرتك كتابة الطلاب امام الجمعية رجال الاعمال ان الجهاز الاداري بره يوم الانتخابات بره القاعة. طب لو تم ضغط احد اعضاء الجهاز الاداري وهو يوجه ناخب معين تجاه مرشح بعينه، ما هي العقوبات التي يمكن ان توقع عليه؟
اولا تصحيح اول شيء ان الجهاز الاداري يمنع من قاعة التصويت فقط، ولكن عندهم مهمات في القاعة اللي تسبق. في جزء مهم من العملية الانتخابية الريكوردز والكمبيوتر كونكشن والأمور دي هاي عندهم، فهم ليسوا مستثنين من المركز الانتخابي، هم مستثنين من قاعة الانتخاب. لما يروح واحد علشان يرمي ورقته في هذه القاعة لا يسمح لهم بالتواجد.
تمام، انا بتكلم على خارج بس. لو تم ضغط احد اعضاء الجهاز الاداري وهو يواجه ناخب معين مش عارف حاجه يا عيني وجاي كده هو عشان يمارس استحقاقه الانتخابي وبيوجه نحو مرشح معين وهذا حدث وامام عيني انا كمثري.
لما تشوف اخو اسامه
شيء العقوبات التي تفرضها لجنه الانتخابات على مثل هذا التصرف.
بالنهايه هو موظف واحنا بنرفع تقرير الى الاداره الجديده للغرفه بكل ما تم في العمليه الانتخابيه. اذا في تجاوزات واسماء معينه ستشمل في هذا التقرير. مجلس الاداره الجديد ياخذ هو القرار.